internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So far, let's get right into today's video. We are going to see some turbulence within the next couple of weeks and months, but we're going to finish the year off very well, and we're all going to be proud of what we went through. And those times are days like today, where the whole market takes a dump. Bitcoin is probably going to go below 60,000. Ethereum below 3,000. Everything is going down, and I'm also going to cover USA for a moment and talk about the whale at the end of the video. But first, this is very, very important. Jeremey Allaire, token 49, uploaded yesterday, 112 views. You need to listen to what he says here, because this is monumental. Tether is not going to stick around. And we even have Tether CEO on camera now, finally. I know I've stated in the past, a couple days ago, I was reading off an article saying that, he said they're not going to go into the United States or the EU. They're not going to follow MiCA guidelines. And he says it on camera. But first, I'll play it. I'll do a little collage here with Jeremey Allaire and the CEO of Tether. Listen to what Jeremey says here about Tether and how it needs to have actual economic activity. This is him pretty much saying, it's going to be kind of redundant. It's going to be useless if it's actually not going to provide that real economic utility, that drive that actually gives value.
For example, if we look at right now, Tether obviously is the biggest by market cap, right? In this internet of like this new financial system that's being developed, what do you think people are looking for, right?
Well, I think, look, in an early stage market, which is sort of dominated by like offshore unregulated exchanges, and it's mostly about speculating on different things, right? Yeah. That's one thing, okay? Yeah. The internet financial system is clearly about actual economic activity. So if we want this to be useful, it has to be about actual economic activity.
Yeah. We care about being the stablecoin for the last mile. So we focus on the adoption in the real world. So payments, remittances. We don't care about the usage of USDT in Europe and the US. We don't think Europe and US are a good market for us. We don't care about the usage of USDT in Europe and the US. We don't think Europe and US are a good market for us. And in general for stablecoins, that is our own opinion.
So if we want this to be useful, it has to be about actual economic activity.
Yeah. Europe and the US, we don't think Europe and US are a good market for us. And
that is crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You really can't argue with me or anybody else that talks about Tether and they fight about Tether because it's real. Forget about being in line with regulation. Let's just talk about all the shady activity, the illicit activity that's happening through Tether. And that is all confirmed on chain. Like, come on, folks. Let's continue on to this whole stablecoin era and why Ripple coming out with their stablecoin this year is not a coincidence. Because they know exactly what kind of regulated environment they're going into and giving the licensing around the world. Take a listen to what Jeremey Allaire says here about regulated frameworks. And he pretty much names every single location that Ripple is also licensed in.
But I think some of the biggest things are, we've just been continually improving the fundamental infrastructure of this. I think one of the advantages that we have and have had historically is that we've always issued USDC under a regulatory framework. And we're now seeing essentially stablecoin rules coming into place all around the world. We've brought online essentially local banking infrastructure in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in the EU. We're in the process of rolling it out natively in Brazil and Mexico, Japan.
And we all need to come to an agreement, and I'm sure 99% of us are, that we are pioneers in this industry. We are ground zero. We are at ground zero. Just think about getting into the stock market back in 1700s when it was first launched. This is going to outlive us. Listen to what Jeremey Allaire says here, how we are in the early stages of this. Like, we are just at the baby infancy stage. And again, he mentions, he always says this and he says it again, because he cannot stress this enough, $100 trillion out there. And that's just the bare minimum.
We're really just in the early stages of the development of the internet financial system. And we're talking about today it's a tiny fraction of the current scale of the global financial system. But the internet financial system, I believe, ultimately will increase global economic output. We should see an acceleration in economic output in the world because of the internet financial system and what it allows for. So when you think about the market today, the market for existing forms of electronic money, just fiat electronic money, is about $100 trillion.
And without volatile markets, folks, you don't really have a market. You need to understand, since we are the pioneers in this ecosystem and we're at ground zero and we're starting this market up, we're going to expect a lot of volatility, okay? Because that's, the pros and cons of getting into a market early. But the thing is, you cannot flip-flop or whatever you want to call it like a fish, okay? You can't be coming in and out of positions. Know the coins you're holding. Understand the value or whatever. If it's a meme, understand what meme environment it's going into, which we're going to get into in a moment. But you can't keep going in and out of these coins. Pick a couple coins and dollar cost average into them. And I'm telling you, years from now, it's going to pay off very handsomely. Because this market, we're at $2 trillion right now, give or take, $2.2 trillion for the whole market cap. And this, 100%, it will hit $4.4 trillion on a conservative scale by the end of this year. So that's doubling the market cap. And then 2025, 2026, it is going to be crazy. It's going to go by so fast that you guys are going to say, what happened to those years? And now, just take a listen to what Jeremey Allaire says here. This was at the end of the video when he's asked about if you were to hold one crypto asset, what would it be?
If you could hold one crypto asset for the next 10 years, not USDC, what would you hold?
I don't like those questions.
And I find it funny that he doesn't answer that question, because normally, 99% of these individuals would say Bitcoin or, Ethereum, or majority of times it's Bitcoin. But he said nothing. Again, they know exactly how this is going to play out behind the scenes and what coin is actually going to have real utility and real value once they enter the real economy, right? Jeremey Allaire made it very clear about Tether.
I mean, look, in an early stage market, which is sort of dominated by like offshore unregulated exchanges, and it's mostly about speculating on different things, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. The internet financial system is clearly about actual economic activity. So if we want this to be useful, it has to be about actual economic activity.
Yeah.
And
It's not actually providing actual economic purpose, USDT. That is significant. But we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But in my opinion, 20 years from now, we will not see Tether. We will not see Tether. I might be a little bit conservative with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but I don't think we will. And now, I uploaded a video a couple days ago, and I said I was going to delete it in 7 hours. We were stalking a whale on the Solana chain, and he was accumulating American coin. Since then, he has not sold anything. American coin has taken a dip, just like every other meme coin out there. But I'm actually buying. This is not financial advice. He did sell 11 hours ago, about $44,000 worth. Keep in mind, this portfolio this morning was worth $2 million. So he's down as well. The reason he sold $40,000 worth of American coin, which is honestly peanuts for him, it really didn't do anything in his holding. So I wouldn't be concerned about this. He did end up going and buying this other coin, UAE, which I was watching him do last night. Very creepy. But at real time, I was watching him do it. I didn't buy it when he was doing it. But as you could see, he sold his USA for Solana, and he just put those into UAE, just kind of reshuffling into a different position. So he did kind of heavily go into UAE, which I do not own. He did pump the market. You guys go check it out. Just go on Sol Scan and type in UAE, and that is the logo. But again, this is very risky. I'm still holding American coin, and I will be for a very long time. And the reason behind it is the US elections are coming up. The Olympics are coming up. And if USA and America starts doing really well in the Olympics, and if the elections really heat up and everything starts going crazy, we could see this potentially take off. And one thing I could leave as a tip for you guys when the markets, perform this, when it goes into the red and all your meme coins take a dump and, nothing's looking good, you think the world's going to end. It's not. Okay, it's going to go up. It's needed. This is not a time to be fearful. This is where you create wealth. This is where scared money, leaves, and the smart money comes in. It could dip. You could buy, it could dip. It happens all the time to everybody. I'm sure every single one of you guys could relate. So the best you could do is dollar cost average into your positions that are going to perform well. If you guys know OBIMA, remember OBIMA pumped, dumped, hang around for a little bit and pump. All these Solana meme coins are going to go up again. We are going to see another major wave in these meme coins. Everything is just taking a little bit of a breather. You guys have seen how crazy this whole crypto ecosystem has been for the past couple of weeks. It is well needed for the markets to cool down, and especially for Bitcoin to maintain 60,000 for over 4 weeks now. So with that being said, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Jeremey Allaire dropped some massive bombshells today, especially in regards to Tether having actual economic activity, which, from his body language and from what he's saying, I don't think Tether's going to be here, like I said, in 20 years. So with that being said, Jeremey Allaire bullish on regulation, not bullish on Tether because they don't want to become regulated in some jurisdictions. The whale for American coin sold $44,000 worth, give or take, 11 hours ago, and bought the UAE token. I'm not selling any American coin. I did sell, I'm not going to lie, I did sell, I believe it was just 5 million, but I bought it back today though. I did buy it back. I had to sell to buy another meme coin, and just like what he did. I didn't have Solana at the time, so I sold, but I did buy it back. And I'm still in American coin. I'm not selling this. I'm going to hold it for a very long time, at least for the Olympics and for the US elections, unless it takes a parabolic, rise to the upside, or it could even be a rug pull. Again, these are all very high risk plays. So with that being said, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll be back with another video.
I have to pay attention to the implications of the great disruptions that are going to take place, because the world will be radically different in 5 years, and it's going to go year by year, become radically different. Next elections, the debt situation, all of these things are going to change. And then with the new technologies, it's like going through a time warp. We're going to be in a different world, okay? And the disruptors will be disrupted. I have to pay attention to the implications of the great disruptions that are
building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.